God is not for slavery at all. Nowhere in the Bible does he advocate for slavery. And what's actually sad is when people want to be correct without first studying what the Bible says, trying to find ways to disregard or say something that it doesn't teach. Slavery has happened to every single nationality. It just depends on how far back you want to go into history. The Europeans were enslaved, the Africans were enslaved, Latin American countries, the indigenous were enslaved. Every single group has been enslaved at one point. The Asians, everybody. There was the dark times, and you're going to argue saying, okay, so God must not be all loving because he allowed these things to happen. I'd argue God is loving for allowing it to happen. But just because you allowed something to happen doesn't mean you're for it. Would it be just to kill somebody, right? Or condemn somebody before they commit the act? Absolutely not. That's not a just thing to do. What is the options? God made us in his image. He loved us, gave us laws to follow. And when we chose to disobey him, not obey him, there are consequences. God is not going to go into your life, okay, intervene with your free will that he has given to you and make you make a decision that's correct. That's not a just loving God. That's a manipulator, a commander, and somebody who takes control over you. Then you're his slave. If God wanted to, he would do that. But he doesn't do that because he's loving. He wants people to love him, choose to follow him because he first made them, loved them, wants a relationship with them as you long for a relationship with others. There is slavery recorded in the Bible. There is rape in the Bible. There is murder in the Bible. Does God stand for any of that? Of course not. But it records what has happened in history. And versus what does God do instead of interfering with the person's will? Instead of, preventing somebody from doing the act, which would not be just, what does he do? He teaches the society, he teaches the group of people he sends out through his prophets how to deal with the corrupted, sin-filled society to further prevent slavery and other disgusting deeds. For instance, Exodus 21:16. God is giving instructions, to his people. And I quote, anyone who kidnaps someone is to be put to death, whether the victim has been sold or is still in the kidnapper's possession. Or also, if you continue, a few books later, Deuteronomy chapter 23, listen to this one, verse 15, and I quote, if a slave has taken refuge with you, do not hand them over to their master. Let them live among you wherever they like and in whatever town they choose. Do not oppress them. God is all loving and he's all in control. And just because slavery happened, or is still happening in some parts of the world, doesn't mean God was for it. God isn't going to intervene with anybody's will because that wouldn't be just and that wouldn't be right. As a fully merciful and just God, to kill somebody or cause, a consequence for an action that did not happen yet. God lets people do things with their free will that he has given to them, and they bear the fruits of that which they sowed. They don't plant a lemon tree and get an apple tree. That doesn't happen. Every time the Israelites turned away from God, what happened? They were conquered. Egypt would come, the Philistines would come, they would completely take them over, every single time, the people of God, so they're not even exempt from it. Every time they would turn away from God's teaching that were there to protect them, God would be, just let them see the hard way. And then they would get conquered. Then they would turn into slaves again. They would turn into, servants. They would be basically just almost destroyed. And then they would cry out, God, we're sorry. We didn't follow the right ways. And then God takes them back to their Holy Land. So God isn't going to intervene with your will, He's going to warn against it. He's going to teach you not to do it. If you still persist and do what's wrong, you're going to reap your consequences. You're going to reap it. And if you don't reap it in this world, which you're going to, but if you don't, for some reason you for sure reap it in the afterlife. You do good, you'll reap good. You've done bad, you're going to reap bad. You don't leave the world without.
All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. Shalom to the hopefully elect. All right, this is going to be another response. This one is going to be entitled, The Lord is Not for Slavery. Now this dude said God is not for slavery. I'm going to use the word Lord, which is the name Yahweh. This guy on the that you saw in the intro video, he's in his feelings. He's emotional as shit. And what's happening with a lot of you people, you Christians, you've heard the Israelites, everybody's heard about us, and because why did this video come up in the Hebrew Israelite category? Now you see a caption up there at the top. Somebody put reply to very A1's comment. It's sad as fuck seeing people not know slavery didn't only happen to the Israelites. We never said it only happened to the Israelites. The fact of the matter is that the Israelites are the Most High's people. Okay? That's the problem with it. Is the Most High for slavery? Yeah. He allowed people to be put in slavery throughout all times. And he punished his people, the Israelites, with slavery. But now that these people are finding out that in the kingdom of heaven, or that we're preaching that they're going to be slaves, they flipping over backwards every which way, trying to get out of it, trying to avoid it. You can't avoid it. The Lord is for slavery. Matter of fact, we're going to have all the nations in slavery in the kingdom of heaven. This is after the second coming, and the Heavenly Father is going to be present, and there are going to be slaves, men, women, old people going into slavery. And the Lord is with that. Now, this dude also going on and on about free will, which is another punk-ass Christian doctrine. This dude is all over the place. First, he said the Most High is not for slavery, but then he allowed people to go into slavery. Well, if he wasn't for slavery, would he allow people to go into slavery? Very simply, the answer is no. And there's no such thing as free will. Let's get that one first. Let's go to Proverbs, because the dude said the Most High is not going to intervene. Well, he doesn't have to intervene because he is the creator, right? He's the great architect. He's the great director. This is his movie. He wrote the parts that he wanted to have happen. So he don't have to intervene because he programmed you or set you on a course to where you will arrive at his chosen destination. All of us did. All of us have. So this is Proverbs 20, verse 24. It says, man's goings are of the Lord. See, what does that mean? Wherever you go, wherever you wind up, it was predestined that you would wind up there. Where you going, the Lord wants you to go there. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? See, you're trying to figure it out. Why did you do this? Why did I do that? Because the Lord wanted you to do it. And the bottom line. Now, people love to say the Most High won't allow, he doesn't condone evil. Yes, he does. He's the one doing the evil, but he set individuals in a way that they would do the evil, that they would have it done. This is Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it? So what do you think? You think the Lord came down and did the evil? Of course he didn't. He set up individuals to do the evil. It's him doing it. He created spirits of vengeance. He makes people do evil, right? By spirits, and he set them up, set them on a course where they would do the evil. That's all the Lord doing there, man. Okay? This again is Isaiah 45, verse 7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. What? The Lord creates evil? He does evil? Yeah, he does evil. He creates the evil. He puts spirits on individuals. He created evil spirits, and they inhabit individuals. And at the time of the Lord's choosing, he has things happen according to his will. Just like we've been bringing out all this time. Like we've been keep telling you and promising you that the Lord is the one doing it. Let's read that again. Isaiah 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. See that? And these are basic, easy scriptures that your average Christian don't want to deal with. They don't want to acknowledge it because you think you got free will. You don't have free will. It's the Lord doing everything. Okay? He does it all. Now, he initiates it. He has it happen, but he's not the one literally carrying it out. Now, let's deal with slavery. Because guess what? The Most High was with slavery. He told the Israelites he was going to put them in captivity if they didn't do what he told them to do. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? If you go to verse 48, what does it say would happen if we didn't obey him? Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies in the land, Salakia, which the Lord shall send thee against thee. Let me read it again. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. So if you didn't do what he told you to do, he's going to send enemies against you. He wants you to go into slavery. He wanted things to happen to us. He made it happen. It's his movie. It's his story. He set it up. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. That is slavery. He sent the oppressors against us, right? Let's go to Isaiah 10. Is it Isaiah 10 and 5? And I might not have the exact verse, but I got the right chapter. We're going to get it. And there was a lady earlier that made a comment. Come on, brother. You expect a woman to sit? No, I don't expect you to do shit. That's why your ass blocked. I don't expect you to do a fucking thing. You ain't got to listen to me spit. If you don't want to hear, if you too goddamn weak, because spitting is part of life, okay? People spit. If you can't listen to it, you don't got to. I'm not begging you to, come on, sister, please. No, I don't give a fuck. Don't listen. You're the one that's losing. We don't need you. You need us. This is Isaiah 10 and 5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. When the Assyrians came and got the Israelites and took them into captivity, that was the Lord doing that. Listen again. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. I will send him against an hypocritical nation. Against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. So the Lord sent the Assyrians. The Most High had the transatlantic slave trade come on the Israelites, right? Just like he's going to have a slavery happen to Esau and the Edomites. Watch it. Revelation, he already made the decree. Now, and he's going to actually have it happen. And in the kingdom of heaven, the Lord going to be with that. Isaiah 13 and 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You see that? You said, the dude said that the Most High was a just God. Well, he absolutely is. And if you put us in slavery, we're going to put your ass into slavery. And he's with that. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Now, I got something here. Let's see. Isaiah, is it 34? I hope this is the one I want. Let's see here. Let's get the NLT. So the Lord made a decree. You lead somebody into slavery, you going into slavery. No, I'm going to have to go to Ezekiel 35. Yeah. Well, let's go to Ezekiel 35 instead. Ezekiel. Damn it. Got the wrong one. Just bear with me here. Doggone it. Where is it? That's crazy. Leave. Judith. Job. There it is. My fault. Ezekiel 35. Right? This is Ezekiel 35 and 3. Look at this. Verse 2. Son of man. And this is the NLT. Turn and face Mount Seir and prophesy against its people. Mount Seir is the place where they're from. They're the Edomites. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Give them this message from the sovereign Lord. I am your enemy, O Mount Seir, and I will raise my fist against you to destroy you completely. I will demolish your cities and make you desolate. Then you will know that I am the Lord. Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins. As surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come. I will make Mount Seir utterly desolate, killing off all who try to escape and any who return. I will fill your mountains with the dead. Your hills, your valleys, and your ravines will be filled with people slaughtered by the sword. I will make you desolate forever. Your cities will never be rebuilt. Then you will know that I am the Lord. For you said, the lands of Israel and Judah will be ours. We will take possession of them. What do we care that the Lord is there? See? So the Lord's going to pay you Edomites back. And he's going to give you a bloodbath of your own. But before you're completely annihilated, you're going to go into slavery. Let's get real quick. There's so many scriptures I want to grab. Let's go here. Revelation. Is it 3? 2 and 26. This showing you in the kingdom people going to be slaves. Revelation 2:26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works until the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father. When you get power over the nations, what you going to do with it? You're going to put the nations in captivity. Let's prove it. Here's the precept. Psalms 2 and 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. So if the Lord give you people for your inheritance, what you going to do with the people? You going to play with them like army men, like little soldiers you put there? No, you're going to put them into captivity. You're going to have this person do this. You're going to have another person do that. And that includes women too. You're going to take women in captivity. That's in the law. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. You see that? Now let's get the one in the law. Because people hate when we bring this up, right? And just bear with me here, because I can't remember where it is. Pare her nails. And you can take women into captivity and make her your slave. Deuteronomy 21 and 10. Listen, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive. If you took them captive, what you gonna do with them? You're gonna force them to do what you tell them to do. You're gonna make them work, make them build shit, right? And you see women among them, you're gonna take the women for yourself. And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and beware her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. But what kind of wife is she? A concubine. That's what she is, a slave in your house, of the female variety. Now let's get real quick. Isaiah 61. I'm going to go right to the point. In the kingdom of heaven, you nations going to be slaves. Isaiah 61 and verse 4. And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. And strangers, other nations, in this regard, strangers, shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. What do plowmen do? They work in the stables. They put shoes on the horses. They tend to the cattle. They tend to the sheep. What do vine dressers do? They plant grapes. They plant vineyards. They plant seeds and gardens. And then when the time comes for no harvest, they harvest it. They shuck the corn. They pick the peas. They shell the peas. They cut the butter beans. They do all of that. They cut the peas. See? They make sugar cane. Then they make it into sugar. You got a whole bunch of operations for your plowmen and your vine dressers. You like strawberries? They're going to plant a strawberry patch. They're going to pick the strawberries. They're going to harvest them. They're going to take care of them, right? When we finally found out what marijuana is for, we're going to have them plant whole things of marijuana. If it's lawful at that time, we're going to have them plant a whole big ass field of it. They're going to nurse your plants. They're going to put peat moss. They're going to spray fertilizer. They're going whatever you got to do, whatever they're going to do. They're going to nurse them trees all the way up. Then they're going to harvest the buds. if it's lawful. If not, you can say apple trees, oranges, bananas, whatever you want. You're going to work the shit out of your slaves. The Lord is going to be with that. If you go back one chapter, the previous chapter, Isaiah 60, and I got to get ready to go back inside, so bear with me here. Isaiah 60, verse 10, it says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gate shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night. Why? That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. So we're going to make them, beautify our sanctuaries. They're going to build up trees. Them trees going to be beautifully arrayed, gardens, right? Fresh smelling things everywhere, fruit trees, no bugs, no pesky bugs, all of that. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. And I mean, you can, use your imagination. And there's many more other scriptures like that. And all the nations going into slavery in the kingdom of heaven. So yeah, the Lord is with slavery. And you're wrong, Cordero, the non-chosen one. That's it, brothers. We'll see you soon. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.